Anyway, I just kind of ignored her and I was kind of really intrigued and I just asked him all about Pokemon and he showed me his Pokemon game. I don't know if it was red or blue, I don't know. But those were the only two games out at the time. But I was really interested and he showed me his Pokemon games and what Pokemon he owned and stuff like that and how far he had come along. And I was just really intrigued and ever since that I was hooked. Anyway, I would go home from college each day and I would watch the Pokemon anime. At the time I didn't know it was anime, I didn't even know what anime was. I just went, when I first saw the episode, I was like, oh, so this is Pokemon, and oh, it's a cartoon, and I liked cartoons, so I watched it. But anyway, after that, I would carry on watching the Pokemon cartoon, and I got really into it. And I remember the second episode I watched was I can't remember the title now, but it was that one where Ash was meant to be training for the Pokemon League, but he kept getting sidetracked. And he went to see that professor who was studying Pokemon, and he had a Slowpoke, and he was studying the evolution of Slowpoke. And Psyduck made friends with the Slowpoke. Then I was watching TV downstairs and Pokemon came on and I showed it to my mum and dad. Yeah, I showed it to my mum and dad and they watched it with me. My mum wasn't really that keen on it at first, but my dad enjoyed it, and he said he liked Psyduck. Anyway, I got really into the show. Yeah, I got really into the show, and I wasn't earning my own money at the time. And I said to my mum, "Oh, Mum, can you buy me some Pokemon stuff?" So she knew that I was into it, so she was like, "Okay, I'll buy you the Pokemon stuff." And she got me these Pokemon toys, which came with it came with some figures. I remember it came with Pikachu, and I recognised that was Pikachu from the show. And it came with this device which was shaped like a Game Boy. And then you pressed a button on it, and it'd shoot this Pokeball out on a piece of string, and it would hit the Pokemon. And I really liked those. Then this other toy that she got me, which you could get at the time, was these Pokemon figures, and they had like a round metal ball underneath them, and you could roll them along, and you could like bash them into each other and make them have like Pokemon battles, and I really enjoyed those. And I remember that I would play with them, and I would make up scenes from the show with them, and at the time I didn't have the figures of the humans from the show, so I would use my Thundercats figures, and I would pretend that they were the characters from the show, like Jesse and James, and I would reenact scenes from the show with these figures, and I had a lot of fun doing that. Then eventually my mum got me a Game Boy Color console. That was the only one that was out at the time. And she got me Pokemon Red for it, and I was really happy, and I would play it and go learning about how it works and go collecting the Pokemon and have battles, and I had a lot of fun on it. But because I hadn't got, because at the time I hadn't got anybody to trade with, she got a Pokemon Blue for herself, and she started playing it, and we had the trading cables, and we would trade Pokemon with each other. And eventually, my mum actually got to like Pokemon herself. I started collecting the merchandise, the trading cards, the soft toys and stuff like that. And the rest is history. That is how I got into Pokemon. I kind of collect Pokemon plushes now, and this is one of them. This is my Charmander, and I named him after the Charmander I chose as my starter Pokemon on Pokemon Red, and his name is Sparky. Charmander! Overall, I really like the show, the anime, and I like the whole franchise. I know it's really popular, and I'm glad how popular it's gotten. I think it's a really cool franchise, and I'm pleased that it's lasted for as long as it has. My mum tried to get me into the show Digimon because she says, oh, there's this show come out, it's called Digimon, it's similar to Pokemon. Because you like Pokemon, you might like this. And she put it on for me, and I watched a few episodes and I did like it. I liked some of the characters, but I never really got into it. I was always more of a Pokemon fan. And I'm not saying Digimon's a bad show. It may be good for some people, but for me, I just never really took to it that well. I always preferred Pokemon. My mom also got me the Digimon movie on VHS, but I was just never really into it. I don't even remember watching that movie. I don't know if I ever did watch it or not. I know it's in one of my cupboards upstairs, but I just never really got big into it. I was always more of the Pokemon nerd. I love the Pokemon anime and I love the Pokemon games, So it's hard for me to decide which I like more. But I would probably say the anime because that's what essentially got me into Pokemon, and I really like the characters and the storylines in it. So I would say I like the anime a bit more. And the rules of the anime kind of make more sense, and it does slightly differ to the games. So I prefer the anime.